we are Renton High class alum.
Yes, and I found out that the good doctor probably was at a high school with my brother for a year.
Oh, that's cool.
He went to O'Day for a short time.
He's over at O'Day. Doctor or chef? I don't know which one is more honorific, actually.
Well, today we'll do chef.
You want to have the logo facing you.
Okay.
It's a directional mic.
Nice.
Directional mic? Okay.
We can get one of these for the guests, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to promote scoliosis.
Well, to answer your question, for all the things that I do, and they're not because it's like, I'm this social butterfly. Like, cooking actually was like career number 3 for me.
Nice.
That I got into it. And the academic stuff I was actually working on near the end of that cooking career, because it's I had to go do more. I wanted to go do more, and so that's why I ended up getting. I was encouraged to go get it. The question was finding the program to do it with, and so I lucked out and I saw University of Southern California, and I'm like, oh, University of Southern Caymans. Okay, let's see how this works. And they're like, oh no, they're real. I mean, they link you in, they get you in for orientation and say, hey, here's a scarf, and would you like some tickets to the football game?
Wow.
And you're looking at that, and you're like, yeah, I'd like that. And then you want to buy all the gear, and then then you're committed. You are a Trojan at that point. I mean, it's University of Washington. When I was going there, it was just it wasn't there. It was just all the students going over there and yelling and screaming on Saturday, and you're like, I'm just trying to sleep.
Where's the USC campus you went to? Where is that?
What was that? University. So University is like it's in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it hasn't changed. It has evolved. So it's like in South Central. And when I got there, when I became part of the program in 2017, USC they actually knocked down a good portion of South Central, and they added the brand new Trojan campus, mostly for freshmen, 3,000 new residents, to accommodate 3,000 new residents. It is technologically advanced and everything. I mean, everything you would want as a college student. I mean, you could hang your bike rack, dining halls. It's even got its own vibe. And in 2028, when the Olympics are in Los Angeles, the athletes will be staying at UCLA, but the world press will be at USC Village. That's what they call it.
Nice. I'm going to let Todd's itchy finger play our intro stuff.
Start this show.
We gotta get going.
Welcome, everyone, to Our Town Podcast. Please take a moment to like and subscribe, share if you can, and review if available. We'd love to hear from you, so comment below and tell us how we're doing.
Yes.
Don't forget to visit ourtownpodcast.com for all the links and join the members-only section of the website or sign up on Patreon. Now here are the boys of Our Town Podcast.
+1.
And she nails that every time. I don't know how she does it. She's amazing. She's amazing. Well, welcome everybody to another exciting edition of Our Town Podcast.
Oh, extraordinary.
Episode 80, boys. And again, don't adjust your view screen if you're watching this, because we've got a guest with us. Dr. Marvin is come to join us, because we're going to talk a little bit about Renton and Renton restaurants.
Yeah, why we're so rich in culinary delights.
Yes. Indeed. But real quick, boys, tonight's safe word is John. If anybody's feeling unsafe and you just need a moment, just yell out John. We'll stop this here program and check on you. It's because among Fortune 500 companies, men have long dominated in the CEO position. It's no brainer, right? In fact, it took until 2018 for women CEOs of Fortune 500 companies to outnumber CEOs that were named John.
Wow. So now is it J-O-H-N or J-O-N is the question.
Well, it was presented to me as John, but we'll give him
That's
some
pretty
leeway.
bonkers.
Isn't that nuts?
Well, let's just say every possible iteration of the name John. Still.
Yeah. So, Doctor, if you're feeling unsafe, just yell out John. We'll stop this here program and check.
And our John is right back there.
I'll be saying another name, but it won't be John.
If things really do go bad,
Yeah, when things really go bad.
Call it my lawyer.
Sir, welcome. Thank you for joining us here on Wednesday evening in a hot, beautiful
we're in a hot streak.
downtown.
Yes.
Well, thank you for championing Renton. That's what I have to say. And just when people know that you have a podcast, I'll listen to the podcast. But if I were to broadcast this on KVI or Como or Cairo, whoever wants to listen, you're like, Renton, really? Like, yeah, of course. Pass by it every day. You
Darn
do your
Skippy,
shopping.
chest puffed out.
Oh, yeah.
heads
No,
held
we're
high.
legit. We're a real city.
Yeah.
And all that entails. But I also think, and kind of, the reason for the season today is that we are terribly fortunate to have great places to eat.
We are.
And almost more per capita than you'd think we'd be allotted.
Yep.
Marvin, I know you could go, and this is not being funny, you could go on for a very long time about all the stuff that you're involved in. And we talked a little bit about this.
Way too much.
But one thing you are very involved in is the local food scene here. Can you tell us why Renton is so rich in culinary treats?
Well, let's start. Me being who I am, I'm going to start back, warp it back in time just a little bit. Why this made more of a, why we're championing it now. So, when I went to high school about late 80s, early 90s, and Renton was not the town it was your typical suburb. You drove past Renton. Mm-hmm. I mean, there was a historical town, but its historical significance in the Pacific Northwest just gone. And by that time, and then when we're here, it's like, why do people stay? Well, they don't really. There's not a place to have a community with. You went to school, you went to work, you went home, you went to your rowing shift, and off you went back again. You did not. You lived in Renton, but you didn't live here amongst Renton. Yeah. I mean, we have, yes, we still had our natural resource and parks and all that. Yeah. And by the way, and so to my buddy Mike Moskowitz here, and we graduated the same year.
We sure did.
Yeah.
He just has nicer skin. I want your skin, Mike.
I love his skin.
I love Mike's hair.
John,
I can't have hair like Mike's.
Yes,
I don't
we
think
did.
anyone has hair like Mike.
And we've pretty consistently bumped into each other nonstop since then.
And so that's like, do the math,
That's
like
a bunch.
30 some odd years.
And this is where Mike gets to correct me. He's great. Like, I grew up in South Seattle, so I would come here for school. I bumped into a couple of diners downtown, Rubutino's being one of them. There's another diner where the theater was. It's gone. Hang out, check out some of my friends. But and then I worked for Denny's. There was a Denny's right on Rainier.
It's the one on Rainier that's now like an empty lot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
they took it
foundation.
down. Because they were doing nothing with that building.
Yeah.
My sister worked there back in the 80s in
seriously?
high school. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
She graduated in 84.
Okay.
So
Yeah, you were there for some time, right, Mike?
Yeah.
I was at the taco time.
Yeah.
You worked at Taco Time? We got to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So using that as an example, so I mean, you went through Renton, and there's a reason why there's a lot of fast food places that go through. You did your shopping, you came from South Seattle, and you left. But there's residents in this town. It's like, hey, it's more than just hey, I'm going to work here, but I want to make this Renton my home. And so, flash forward to the pandemic. You're stuck here. The only place you're going to do is get food, and you don't know where. And there's only very few places, and amongst them, which doesn't even exist anymore, Sherry's is one of them, Chinese, McDonald's, and whatever pizza. Your menu is going to get limited fast in the pandemic. Mm-hmm. So where do you go to eat? And so I actually took this idea from supporting the restaurants in Chinatown. Like, where do we go and eat? And so, I just collected, like, who's open, who's got to go. Well, now we have Chinese takeout. Now we have Thai food. Now we have vegan vegetarian too.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's just collecting all of these things that make it, because it's like, yeah, you want to go home, but what makes it home? And what we're lucky for right now is that supply chain, definitely.
Thanks, Joe Biden.
Yeah, thanks, Joe Biden. Thanks to the interwebs, we have more options. Like your food providers will not come from Renton sometimes.
Right.
They'll come from Kent. They'll come from Auburn.
Yeah.
Catering, the accessibility of food. Communications was the biggest one. Like without the internet, we would not have the access to stuff.
Do you think online ordering has benefited retail restaurants in a retail sense? Like the Grubhub style stuff?
Early on, yeah, but remember, there's always been delivery in food, right?
Sure,
I'm not talking about pizza. It's just making it accessible, making it before it was more of a special treat, and or you could afford it, or you just were within that circle that knew that delivered, or they knew you. Right nowadays, you can go take that train that's just about to go by us. There.
The hobo, that's right.
Yeah, but right now, thanks to your rideshare and the internet, it made that very convenient. You'll pay for it, but you can get your food anywhere.
I have found that, like with Ochatai, which is one of my favorites. It's
Nice.
like a few times a month, right? If you discuss with them without just going to like Uber Eats or Grubhub, find out what they prefer to use, because
Yes.
there's certain ways that they can make more money and keep more of the money
Keep more.
themselves. So you can order online from them, and then they have the dasher or whatever come pick it up and all that stuff. So
Yeah, I used to, when I did delivery, I picked up there quite a bit.
did you? So
It's
good.
totally, Ochatai, totally amazing. But where I'm coming from, and if you go, shameless plug, of course, if you go to Facebook and you listen to the podcast, support Renton Eats.
Yes.
It's not a static site where we just say, hey, you're going to see different pictures. I'm encouraging everybody to, when they have that food experience, that you have a place to post it. Say, hey, I got this great drink at this bar.
Yeah.
I got this great drink at Local 907, or I got this great drink over at Brewmaster's Pub, or I got this great drink up in the Highlands over,
What's the
my
stuff?
favorite pub up there. Lots,
And I'll say
and the whistle stop. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
when I
Hey.
discovered that page, it's like, we got to go try that place.
Right?
We got to go try that place. Some amazing restaurants here that I never even heard of, never knew about.
And he's taken the gastro chance here, people. I mean, he's a type of hero.
I saw a video today, actually, and I don't know if this is true or not, but this video said that what we think of teriyaki food actually started in the Seattle area.
A little bit of Toshi's, a lot of it's to go. Even modern teriyaki that you see today. Here's the thing: you don't want spice. The thing is consistency. Out of all of these businesses, it's doing the same thing right every day, all the time, every time. All you'll see is little different additions to it here and there.
Yeah.
So when it comes to Renton, it's like, hey, I want to eat something local. Well, in the history of Renton culinary traditions, that's not us. A lot of it was, and I defer to Mike a little bit too, because he's on the ground more. A lot of Wendy's, a lot of.
But we've also had Jolly Boy, Lermond's, and
Lermond's I haven't thought about it forever.
You know what I mean? It's like, so even then there were Americana diners pushing through. Plus, a relatively large amount of Chinese food. I think Thai food got here really early in the 80s, which I thought was cool at the time. And Indian food had got here in the early 80s.
Yeah.
And I was stoked about that.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Well,
moved to Panay.
just me being the precocious little kid, I was always enamored by the Kmart diner and the blue light flag.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm
I think
digging back.
Kmart was amazing.
Oh yeah, I'm digging back there.
Oh, it was amazing.
And the closest analog to that today is where you're seeing, like, say, a McDonald's in the Walmart.
Yeah. But now I don't view that as
Woolworths
the same.
had a diner as well.
Well, the key is convenience, and when you want to go eat, it's not necessarily a Renton food or Renton things from your Renton neighborhood. What it's really about is convenience and getting people to stay in your store. And but one of those things that ended up being because of that, you end up seeing everybody, and and so nowadays, back to supporting our Renton Eats, and this is where you can say thank you. Can't thank you all enough for promoting it. It's what's the Renton food scene look like now, and it is incredibly eclectic. They're just the only difference right now is that there are just some communities where we don't have enough critical mass to enjoy it, but their restaurants would be welcome. So let's take Ukrainian. There's a wonderful Ukrainian church and community up in the Highlands.
And for a while, they had the church over off of Rainier, across from McDonald's, right?
And there's also a Euro store that's also in the Highlands. I live right by there. But
across from Pickle Onion?
Yeah, across from Kitty Corner to it.
I didn't know that was a Ukrainian spot.
Well, it's a European store. But there was one store in Seattle that is Ukrainian / Russian based, and in the little corner, they have a little restaurant there promoting their foods. It's all the way up in Aurora. European Foods, that's the name. Ukrainian based. Get your baba ganoush, get your chicken Kiev, get your all those wonderful favorites.
So it does kind of have that Greek Isle spin to it, right? As opposed to like traditional Russian dumpling stuff. Or?
Well, yeah, that's a tradition of that particular community.
Yeah.
Now, one day
there's a bunch of ports in Ukraine, right? So it's like I get it. They get a world flavor cross-pollination.
Yeah, and all of those world flavors are available. It's just dependent on who the entrepreneur is that would want to bring that food into our town. So, looking up Ethiopian restaurants. Will I find one in Renton? Not yet, but I know we will.
Rainier Avenue's got a couple of different ones.
But just slightly outside of our.
Because they are kind of the gateway business for immigrants, right?
Yeah.
It's like, because then, it's something they're familiar with. It's like a whole
something that their community can rally around.
Yeah, if you build a spring factory or some shit, now your whole family can participate in the making of spring.
Yeah, and it's something that you grow to learn. So if you're out there eating Ethiopian food, for those people like, what is it? Well, you have to try it first. But that's an opportunity for us, as Renton diners. We get to see more of these things are in the community. But here, it's still strong. It's still strong along with definitely Italians made its mark. You still have Vince's. I know we miss the old Armando's, but now you have Mariana's and Sensoria on Rainier Avenue. Places that I've also been to, and places I know lots of people have been to.
I haven't tried. That's the one where the old Pizza Hut was, right?
Yeah,
I haven't tried it.
They're doing a good job.
Is it good?
Oh, yeah, they've been there. There at least 2-3 times over a period of years. They do refresh their menu every now and then. I do know at the time I was there, they don't make their own desserts.
Okay.
Some of those Italian desserts.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it.
No, I'm not mad at it. It's hard to do. I'm not mad at it at all. But what that does is to me, what that says isn't that they're. What to me that says is that they are going out. They want the best products, and that means they're also hiring that business to help them be part of it. So.
Sure.
Are they very sort of traditional American Italian cuisine over there? Is it spaghetti and is it?
Yeah, with a pretty authentic.
It's in there. But here's what I would say. Is that
sweet.
even though you can get a spaghetti, try not to.
Oh,
because you're missing out on the other talents that they have.
Absolutely.
Like Mariana's is really good. Like if you said who's better, Sensoria or Mariana's, depends on what you're thinking. But Mariana's, because a little bit of my background as I talked to Charles.
And Santiago's sweetheart.
Santiago, the owner, he's wonderful. I worked there when it was an Indian restaurant, and they still kept the pizza oven there.
It had a tandoori.
Did they make the naan in there and stuff?
Yeah.
Was that Delhi Palace? What was it?
It's called Elixir.
Oh,
Yes, I was there. I'm trying to make their food run, and the question is that how do you get people going there? Well, they're used to naan and curry. They weren't used to like the northern kind of Indian foods that that were more popularized, say in Great Britain. Like they would say, "Hey, I want a curry, I want a vindaloo."
Right.
It's like, okay, those are things that we, they've actually been Americanized now. These are things we know. They're in your grocery store.
Right.
And so now at least you have that familiarity, and you can say, "Oh, I'm going to go to, let me see, rice and curry."
Which I haven't been in yet. I haven't been into that market yet.
Yeah. So there's rice and curry.
Yeah. What's the one inside of H&K Mart over on 7th?
H&K
Is
Mart.
that it's like spice something, but there's a restaurant inside of there as well.
I haven't seen it. I know that there's one across the street from near Fred Meyer. There's
that's Poplar. Now that place is great, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's all it's there. No, I'm in there all the time. And they've got a grocery store.
I haven't been there.
Yeah, but
shame on me, and I'll have to go in
Poplar's
there.
fantastic. Highly recommend. And it's kosher.
Yeah. And we
But
have,
over H&K is also a weapons manufacturer, so I might not be correct here. But it's the market on 7th, right by Jimmy Mac's.
and
Right
we
there,
have,
man,
and we have a
Spice something is the restaurant inside of it.
and
It's
there's
like
a kosher
Indian-
restaurant in Renton.
Oh.
Yeah, Poplar's kosher. You need something besides that?
Actually, no. Gold Central Mediterranean. So if you're going up Sunset Boulevard from Boeing, it opened just recently. And
Yeah, that used to be Omar Al Khayyam
yeah, it's near the brick.
for like 40 years.
Yeah, it's near the brick, and the stuff. Their menu looks wonderful. It looks tasty. You just want to. You just like you look at it. It's like I must go in here. Schnitzels and everything.
Making me hungry.
Yeah. So why I know you and I talked about this. Like why go in there? Why are we doing this? Is because we have we have a diverse scene now, and the people who make these restaurants who want to stay in business, they need to be supported. They need to stay, and for us to grow, we just we're only limited by two things: our wallets and our tummies.
Yeah.
And also the third is the knowledge to know that they exist.
Sure, and just to take a chance, right? If it's not something familiar, we're adults and we can take a chance on it. Right? And I get money's tight, I get it, but
I think
but it really can be worth it.
And I think you asked me like what was what's my favorite Filipino restaurant?
Yeah.
I'm Filipino American. What's my favorite Filipino restaurant in Renton? And I tell people the Berliner Pub.
Oh,
Nice.
Well, and that's because it's the owner is, and I'm going to do a name drop, and there's a reason why this is important to me, is because so Dennis, who's also Filipino American, used to be a nightclub owner, so him and his wife, they wanted to get into business and say, hey, I want to get in business, but I don't want to open up a nightclub. What do we do? And his wonderful wife, Lydia, blonde hair, blue-eyed Australian, says, let's open a pub, using her grandmother's recipes. And Dennis has expertise in beer and German beer. And so when he opened it up, he said, okay, I'm going to invest in Renton. I'm going to invest what is probably now easily $1 million into that building, just to keep it open, get it renovated, get things moving and rolling. And it has now become like Renton's living room.
yeah. And he's the original owner. Because
Berliner,
back.
Oh, it went out sliders and shit, man.
Oh,
Jesus.
that's right.
Yeah, sliders and then pounders.
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 What
Yes.
the fuck?
Well,
I looked at the bunkhouse then. It was just awful.
well, and we're looking at this scene, and looking at the scene, it's like, why do people stay? Let's make it family friendly. What are we going to do? And so the pub itself, as the idea, was the nexus of we can have all of these things. We can have alcohol. We can have great food. We can play sports whenever you want, and it's our brand. We created this. We did this, and the city loved it.
And it's a soccer oriented spot,
Soccer oriented
Yeah,
spot.
and it is built like a public house.
Mm-hmm.
right? Because there aren't dividers. It's a very open, big tables to where often you will get sat next to a stranger, right? Just like in every other country on the planet. Right?
Yeah, and what makes this different is that, like, where Rubatinos has been there for a long time, and been one of our anchors of this community. Everyone knows.
It's like the elephant's grave.
We have to thank the people over at Berliner, because they were the ones who put that first stamp of an actual gastropub, saying, this can work in Renton.
Well, I say Whistle Stop, bro. If I'm going to go in the Wayback Machine, and Whistle Stop was non-smoking before it was a thing. And
absolutely. I mean, it's just when they moved in and they added, when they got the beer tap and beer. Oh my God.
I'm not knocking Berliner, but I'm just saying.
Oh no, I'm not knocking any of them. I'm not meaning to forget all the things, the contributions of Whistle Stop. But when you're able to come in, it's like, then you're something that's like all German beers. Then we're thinking like, hey, okay, I'm going to try this. And with that German theme, that you can actually pull this off. When they go and when they're saying, hey, let's inspire the first Oktoberfest in Renton.
Yes.
So, but that's an example. But the Berliner is one example of us moving forward into what we call the modern food age in Renton. So now, thanks to the internet and what we're able to promote on Facebook through Support Renton Eats is I can get down and dirty and talk about the actual stories in behind. So that way, let them know that you have a connection. You, as that diner, has a connection. So we have common ground for cupcakes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's family owned.
Yep.
If anyone knew anything about that, that's all they really wanted to know.
Yeah.
I did this. I did a story on Support Renton Eats for just on Western Cove Donuts. Met the owner. He'd been there for 20 years.
Yeah.
He had
a quadruple bypass and was back to work in like 2 weeks.
Whoa!
Yeah.
And he had cancer.
Jeez.
The guy's for real. He's a man.
I knew the owner of King Donut in Rainier Beach. I think she moved up here. The poor woman, she was like in her 40s. And kids of her own, and she said, I'm retiring from the donut business, but I'm going to pass this on to someone else who wants to do it. And all of those traditions are actually here. And so when they have the new owners there, they took the Western Cove Donut brand and they made it their own. And they are, and if I met the owners, and they are there every day. I went there a few weeks, still there, still with a happy shining smile.
Right.
This is their family. This is their family business, and this is what they do, and they love doing it.
Did you do like an article on them?
I did one on them, one at Chuck's Donuts.
Chuck's,
of course, I can do Chuck's.
Maple Bars. Oh yeah.
Chuck's has been around forever. I remember Chuck's when when I was in elementary school, going to Clark Elementary.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
One of my buddies, his mom worked at Chuck's back before they had the new building. It was just Chuck's and the gas station.
And Hop-In,
and I know I'm going to get a little bit of flack from all of our Support Renton Eats users. Yes, I will review a chain restaurant.
Oh, sure.
What's a chain restaurant?
Yeah, what's the closest chain restaurant we have in town?
Well, let's take Starbucks, right? There's dozens of Starbucks here. There's dozens of restaurants, but I will do a review for one because
Zell's is a chain.
Yeah.
But you mean like a nationwide or international chain?
So that one I'll do a review for, because each Starbucks has its own little vibe going on.
It does. They're fairly consistent through their food and stuff, but I'm always disappointed. It always sounds good to get a breakfast sandwich or something, and I'm always so disappointed. $14. Should have gone to McDonald's. I mean, geez. Even there it's $14 at this point.
But definitely there's some other places we can go. I actually have a wonderful affinity for some of those stores. So the reason why is because let's take your Subway stores. Those are privately owned franchises.
Yeah.
All right.
Same thing with 7-Eleven. And
do they get prompted to do things consistently? You know what I mean? Like a measure of cheese is the same here as it is as a New Jersey franchisee, you think? Or
The camera's staring at me.
Yeah, I don't know the answer.
And
You don't know the franchise, so that's kind of a
official
weird
opinion on
question.
this.
But I really don't know. That would be my guess, though. I would think there's certain dictates from the higher ups.
You're right. The dictates from the higher ups is okay. First of all, we all get.
Consistency, right?
Here's an example. I have a coupon. I'm going to walk into. It should be good at any store anywhere in the country. But you walk in the store, they'll say, "Yeah, we're not participating in that because that thing's expensive."
Yeah, 20% off the top or some shit. It's like, man,
Oh, yeah.
it's crazy, especially in a restaurant.
And so what makes that franchise any different than, say, Premier Meat Pies, which is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
So
Close personal friends of the show.
Yes, indeed.
yes, good close personal friends that have different, and they're also an example of. People have made an investment into the community.
Yeah.
We're not an investment. People like, I'll try. I'll just open the store. No.
And taking chances, right? Those guys, get a lot of shit done, right?
No,
they take chances, right? They take chances. They
big
make shit
chances.
happen. That's nice. They're a super duper success story.
Yeah,
And plus, I saw Nathan jogging today. The guy's a stud.
Again?
Yeah, no, he went full Benjamin Button. It's like the guy looks great.
What is he, like 15 now?
Yeah, he's all perfect posture.
Yeah, well, Nathan and his wife, they've always wanted to open in Renton, and it's just finding that spot. And so back to, supporting Renton needs like them. It's like, how do you get that there? What can they do to bring these businesses to Renton? And, talking to them, it was more like they have to get past the current red tape of what makes Renton run, and this is where I give a lot of kudos to Mayor Pavone, who's listened, because one of the things that also has kind of stymied Renton growth in the restaurant business was the antiquated red tape of opening one.
Well, and a bunch of old buildings that owners haven't put money into.
Yes, correct. And adding
so because you can't just go in and make a kitchen somewhere because they're inherently dangerous.
So now you have you have this thing now you have the Bainbridges who have a successful small business who live in Renton, wants to make not only is Renton their home, they want to make a business in Renton. What are they going to have to do, and where are they going to go, and how much is it going to cost them?
Yeah.
And so the city's been a lot more. The city's rules have changed a lot, and it's going to change even more. And so it takes a lot to make a dollar, and so you're going to see that. I think you're going to see that improve in Renton. So once we get that going, then you're going to see more, hopefully, possibly more restaurants. More restaurants can stay. So one of those examples is, say, Rain City Market.
Oh yeah, no, I got a sandwich today.
Bought a sandwich today. Don't forget, clam chowder is only on Fridays.
Kenny's the man, though.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Kenny. Kenny.
The whole crew's great.
Such a great story.
Yeah, Kenny, Jeremy, his wife Dee Dee. Just everybody that's there.
Yeah.
That's what makes the rest. Mariah. Oh my God, their operations person.
Yeah. It's just a corner bodega, like you could find, anyone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like honest and good.
Oh yeah,
it is. It's the whole 9 yards.
Yeah. So
this whole downtown strip right here, 3rd Avenue, 3rd Street,
it's pretty solid.
It's just pretty solid.
Yeah. Well, along with that, what we want to, one thing to promote too is the businesses in the neighborhood.
Absolutely,
so again, I live in the Highlands. I live right on Sunset. And there's a little strip mall where I'm in. In that store, there used to be just a regular sandwich shop, not a sub shop / sandwich shop, not anything related to, not even competing with Subway. It was just always there. Your cops would pull in, local workers would come because it's an honest sandwich. Not to say there was anything wrong with Subway, but they just love this spot.
Sure.
I remember when Tully's was there. Tully's. It was a lot. Even then, it was a lot different vibe and a lot different product. And they turned the space into a living room. You always wanted to go there. So and then they closed up, and they got replaced by Sherman-Williams, I think, for
No.
the paint
Yeah,
store.
yeah.
But one store that's
Total
up there.
different flavor.
Yeah.
They took the lead out even.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking posers.
I know. but one thing that was always there was Kim Fung.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God! So there was there used across the street there was a strip mall there that there was a Vietnamese restaurant there. Lasted about 4 months. Yeah, and I mean I know they put the valiant effort in, but their Vietnamese too wasn't quite right, and you can tell. And so, but Kim Fung, they're there. Their restaurant is there, and that's an example of local restaurants that need to survive. What else? So that's the Highlands. Then you have Cascade.
Yeah, what's the new Turkish joint up there?
The new Turkish
spot.
Oh yeah, where Angela's goes. So,
Yeah.
In the Highlands or in?
Yeah, go to Island.
Yeah, Sunset, yeah.
It's Saba.
Oh.
Yeah.
Saba.
Yeah, we went up there one time.
They
but
say
it was right as they opened.
Oh yeah, they say Turkish, but no way.
Welcome, everyone, to Our Town Podcast. Please take a moment to like and subscribe, share if you can, and review.
Oh, sorry. Hi.
And we're back.
Yeah. Well, Saba is another one. Husband and wife. Their focus is on it says Turkish, but it's really also Mediterranean.
Okay.
It is the only one that's open also late, like past 10.
Nice.
And what they have is a wonderful community that really appreciates their food. So I can't tell if it's I don't know which ethnic community it is. I know if it's Greek. I'm not sure if it's part of that Ukrainian, but that means there's a critical mass of people who are there. Another small business which I love, and they're part of Support Renton Eats. Shout out to Simo, who's one of the owners over at J Berry's.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
J Berry's.
They've got a huge menu. Oh, yeah. It's great.
I have to say this. Growing up, we did Godfather's Pizza. That was our jam. And
was.
J Berry's is very much like a Godfather's
Oh,
Pizza because I
nice.
can't find Godfather's anywhere.
It's still over in the area. The last one was in Butterwell Way. That closed during
Yeah, there's one in Auburn, and you're totally correct. It's not the same. It's
Yeah.
not the same way.
Yeah.
It's not the same vibe.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for that kind of honest pizza, I would
You just want
also-
that fix, right? That,
Yes.
All that nice cheesy fix that's there. Pizza. I know people are gonna. What's the best? Well, of course you love Smoky Monkey Pizza.
Smoking Monkey's good.
Yeah, how are the new owners?
I don't know. I didn't
okay,
know
so
about that until just recently.
Yeah, so they switched new owners, and if you go to sportrentoneats.com, I write all about
Oh,
it.
hey.
And so they changed the brand, but they didn't change the menu.
Okay.
But what they did do is expand it. So it's still the same pizza. You get your calzones. They are expanding with new things. So it's more or less, if it's that big, just ask them, hey, can you make this? And they will probably say yes.
Do they still have the cookies?
They still have the cookies. You got. They're getting into. They're revamping everything. So they bought it in 2001. They can't stop operations or do a lot of remodeling. So you have to just keep going on with what they have, which is a smart play. And slowly now they're doing things like making their dining room, changing their dining room. They have a different theme going on with it. They have a jungle theme, not
Oh.
not
the rocket ship.
Well, it was instead of the counterculture theme.
Okay.
With a cute name.
Okay.
They wanted to go with more of a jungle theme, very family,
More
friendly.
hip.
And more hip to your pizza.
Yeah, because they were doing a cool sci-fi theme. I really liked Smoking Monkey. The first owner was a little crazy, but then Ping and Ping's Mr. Ping were fucking great. The Bullocks were great.
Oh, and the slice.
She's one of the nicest people I'd ever met in my life.
Oh, and you want a slice? It's there. Hey, what do you want? Okay, I'll get that.
Yeah.
Fountain drink? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, another thing is in the Cascade neighborhood, this is where back to developing neighborhoods and where restaurants make a difference. So one restaurant and, again, back to Filipino food, McKenny's.
Right there in where the QFC used to be.
Right with the KFC. Yeah, with the
Yeah.
string. So they had a couple of hard times. I think a truck went through their restaurant.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, and so they were getting new windows.
Like on purpose or accidentally?
Probably, definitely accidental. It was a whole
I have to admit, I haven't been there in probably a year, but really good food.
really good Filipino food. Me personally, my favorites there, if you go with the pork sinigang, That's the tamarind soup with, essentially with the boiled pork and veggies that go inside of it, and a side of rice. Wonderful. Don't forget their fresh dropped lupia when they get
Nice. Yeah, it's delicious. I just had an epiphany. I think maybe in the fall when the weather's turning on us, we round up Marvin here and we hit the road and we go visit some of these restaurants on camera if they'll allow us and sample some of their eats.
Well, while we're doing that, one great place I think would do that, and I think that everybody should visit. And again, these are the different restaurants in the different neighborhoods. And please find yours. So, like, one of them would be there's the little strip mall Heaven that's on near IKEA. That's Renton territory. Renton.
Yeah.
So they got some great eats there. Simon Says. Hawaiian. Oh my goodness!
Nice.
So we have
like a Hawaiian barbecue, or is it a?
No, it's a. I forgot the owner's name, and I apologize to the owner there. But yeah, traditional Hawaiian. The other Hawaiian store is L&O Barbecue. Right now, as you're heading towards Walmart.
Okay.
So that's there. But if you're looking for another vibe, another Hawaiian vibe, L&O, I would say Simon Says is there, and there are restaurants around in that area.
Oh yeah, the Nepalese joint, right?
Nepalese. I've not been there.
No, it's really good.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, right on the corner by what's the music store? A Sharp Music.
Oh yeah, they are really good. Yeah.
The Spot.
Oh, the Spot's great. And on Mondays they're like half-price pizza.
Oh, really?
Yes, and their pizzas are good. Man.
And it's a great sports bar.
Yeah. There's TVs everywhere.
We've been down there to watch some football games and stuff.
Yeah.
And so back to neighborhoods. There's part of there's swaths of Renton, just by design or by accident, where there's just straight tracts of houses, no stores, no bodegas. Like, we're very fortunate to have stores like say Rain City Market that's able to sustain themselves. And when you see these restaurants that they or restaurants or even gas stations, they make that's what's making your neighborhood right now. So I think Spot On, that's near Chuck's Donuts. I mean, if you want an honest set of chicken strips, instead of, after you get your donuts, you walk on over to the gas station and say, hey, I need a dozen
Why not at the same time?
Yeah.
Chicken and donuts, that's the new new jam.
There's not too many places in Renton that will do that.
Yeah.
Does that. I remember when, in Beacon Hill, there was, again, the local Shell station. You're there at 1:30 getting fried chicken right after coming out of the bar. But if you want that same flavor and that same kind of thing, you can see that at see it up there in the Highlands. There's a couple going on down near Liberty Park. Definitely teriyaki. Definitely there's another smaller bakery. Actually, a bakery that's there, and I forget the name. All in that strip mall. So there's food. There's food, you gotta look. And this is why it's like this is why I support Renton Needs is there. It's so that you can get on. Make a post these things, post your experiences on here, so we can see them. And it's not just a place where the business advertise, and they can advertise. We want them to advertise, but this is where I ask people, post your experiences on there, so we can go down there. Because the only thing that's limiting me is my knowledge of going down there and to go visit.
Right.
And we want to promote all these businesses.
And remember, these are your friends and neighbors, right?
Yeah.
Most of these owners, they live in this community. They raise their kids in this community.
And props to Mr. Moskowitz over here next door to me. I know he was partnered here at the Liberty Cafe. And you know what? Part of it wasn't necessarily because of the coffee. Part of it wasn't because necessarily the donuts. A lot of it was because Mike's there.
Yeah.
I'm going to go there. I'm not going to support
say hi to Mike.
Hey, Mike makes a decent.
He makes a good cup of coffee.
And
He's
it's
had a lot of
people that
practice.
make the place, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for a restaurant or a coffee shop or whatever, that has to be, something that you're getting, right?
Yeah.
But you're going there because there's other humans there.
Yeah.
And in Seattle, you go there to ignore the other humans, But
Yeah.
in Renton, you don't. You go there to chit chat.
Right. How are you doing on time, sir?
I have to leave you.
Oh, okay. Can I ask you this real quick? Is there any new restaurants that are coming in that you're excited about, that you've heard maybe coming to town?
Well, I'm going to promote one, Tra. Have you heard of Tra?
No.
How do you
Tra
spell it?
is
just TRA?
TRA. It's Vietnamese coffee. It's over in near the Hyatt.
Okay.
Lake Shore? No, what is it? That's,
Is it right in that complex?
It is a small business that opened.
Okay.
World headquarters, the World Headquarters store number 1 is there. They are open in Bellevue and in Las Vegas.
Okay.
And there's a lot of relationships out there. One of the new restaurants is Clove. It's Indian. It's over in the Landing.
I haven't tried that yet.
A lot of people are saying wonderful rave reviews about it. Don't wait for me to post anything on Support Renton Eats. Go there and post it. And
I
share those
have
experiences
one
with
last
us.
question for you.
Absolutely.
I noticed that you have Starfleet on your phone. I'm a nerd, so my question to you is
Yes.
thoughts on the more recent series of Star Trek.
Which one are we talking about? Are we talking about Strange New Worlds? Or are we talking
Discovery.
No, not what's the one I'm thinking of? It's on Nickelodeon.
Prodigy.
Prodigy. I haven't seen Prodigy. I'm looking forward to just streaming the whole thing. But I'm determining if I have to complete the streaming for Star Wars Acolytes. Or The Boys. I don't know which I'm going to.
I know. I got to get caught up on
These two need to get caught up on the Acolyte and the Boys.
I think I'm
only
one
an
behind
episode
an
behind an Acolyte.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
But my thing is, when watching The Boys, I have to make sure that I, eat afterwards after I watch The
You gotta
Boys.
have a brain cleanser, like a brain Brillo pad.
Yeah, you need a palate cleanser after you watch the Boys.
Yes.
Yeah, so you need to talk about that. But again, back to food.
Yeah.
This is where I say thank you for championing us.
Absolutely.
There's, I can go. We can go on and on, not only about just food history, but just where are our favorite places to eat. Those are the places that I think, back to those new restaurants, that's where I think it's good. And there will be more, lots more. I hope there are more. And part of that's what's going to define our city right now. It's like, what kind of food do you want to eat and where do you go? Where do people go? Where does Marvin go to? What's his go-to? Well, come find out at Support Renton Eats.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm serious about maybe after August, sometime after Gong Show, we should do that. We should get together,
Sure.
find a Saturday afternoon that you may not have a million things going on, and we'll go visit some of these restaurants. And
Great idea.
Oh yeah, they'd love you. And coming in, and we could wave it all.
Yeah.
But food is a ever evolving thing. The restaurants I mentioned now will only be the tip of the iceberg. The wonderful eats and the entrepreneurs that are going to come in. Again, that's just the tip of the iceberg of the brick and mortars that they see. There is more coming in. We've got food trucks that make Renton their home.
Yes.
We've got caterers. I do catering myself. Just be on the lookout for those things, and that's what helps make Renton.
Yes, indeed. Well, sir, we appreciate you very much for being here, and we hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Oddly, I'm going to a restaurant right now.
Nice. How was the governor's banquet, by the way?
So the governor's banquet. First things first, the food was amazing. I'd like to thank the people over at our sponsors, Boeing. I think Smoking Monkey was one of our sponsors.
Oh, nice.
Was one of the sponsors. The Weatherly Inn, which was the host, and of course, all produced by the Renton Chamber of Commerce. The staff was great.
Nice.
So what they did is that they each had a table where each of the gubernatorial candidates were there. It was just hot there, just hot coming in, but you saw some pretty. The candidates that were there were very poignant candidates, and so we didn't see the Reichert and the Bob Ferguson campaign.
Oh, they didn't come?
Yeah, they did not come, but Sammy Bird was there.
Interesting.
But Sammy Bird was there,
okay,
and Mark Mullett was there, and with respect to the other campaigns that were there was a lot of love specifically for those two candidates.
Wow, sure.
Not only because they showed up, but because of I think how the town feels about their candidate. They were even though they would have loved to hear from Bob Ferguson, definitely definitely wanted to hear from Rankard.
Yeah.
They were excited. Like Mark Mullet was engaging his community, people who
he's a solid candidate.
And then the other person was Semi Byrne. Even if you weren't conservative, you totally rocked the crowd. He had you jump when they were talking up. He had a long line and long list of people. But because we were Renton, we want to hear from everybody. So it was great to open the opportunity up to 23 other candidates as well.
Yeah, for sure.
It was wonderful.
Awesome.
Geez, that's great.
Awesome. All right, sir. We appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you. We will. I guess we can talk politics on it.
Yeah, another day.
That's where I go.
We got more time.
That's where I go from Chef Marvin to Dr. Rosete.
All right, Dr. Rosete, everybody, thanks for being here, sir.
Thank you.
Is that how it goes?
Song. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, like
welcome
he's
back, everybody.
impressed,
Let's just do that. And we're
7
back.
Yes. Hey.
Thanks again for the doc being here,
Yeah, that was
talking restaurants and stuff.
Yeah,
So.
is that like an overachiever's trouble? It's like, am I a doctor today or am I a chef?
Yeah, I mean, geez, really.
That's the
really
trouble
is.
you want to have.
Yeah, it's do I wear the brown socks or the white socks
Yes,
today?
and a Renton High School, so they're mismatched socks.
You wear them both, apparently.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh my God.
Little
Boys, jumping into some headlines.
boy.
Regular show, back to our regular scheduled program.
Scheduled.
And by the way, folks, this has been a great 3-week run, or will be a great 3-week run. Last week we had Greg from Print Ritual, who
Yeah,
was
that
a
was great.
fantastic
Yeah.
guest.
Oh, what a sweetheart.
This week,
Yeah.
Dr. Marvin. And next week, folks,
that's
I
next
think
week?
it's happening.
I think that's next week.
We've got ghost hunters coming in.
man.
And we need to, scope out this building a little bit, I think.
Something.
We'll figure something
We'll
out.
have to have them
Always
come
start in the
back.
toilet.
We'll have to have them come back in the fall after I get my my Ghostbusters thing that I ordered.
Oh man, I was wondering if it'd probably going to be too hot, but if you wanted to wear your Ghostbusters just in case to protect
I
us.
could at the
Another
very
layer.
least bring the pack and everything. But
But she said she's got a special camera coming, and I guess she'll have it by the time they come, and then
right
they've
on.
got some other meters and stuff, and
I've
they're
always
into it.
wanted to do one of those things, but it just never never looked into it.
Yeah, and they said they're looking for new members, so if you're interested,
Geez.
it might be a
Well,
new
it
jam.
depends on if membership costs money or not.
Oh, I have no idea. Boys, do you believe the political polls?
Oh.
If you do, then Biden's debate debacle, say that fast 3 times, didn't really move the national polls that much. He might only be down by a point or two after that big debate debacle.
That's the latest scuttlebutt anyway.
Which is huge for him.
Polling is imperfect because that's
It
the
totally
potential voters,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's in plus minus however many percentage
And who's
points.
answering landlines anymore? Who's answering the phone if you don't recognize the phone number?
The same 80-year-olds
All
over
of
and
the
over.
political texts I get go straight
Yeah.
to my spam folder.
And
anyway.
that's the thing. It's the people that need to get engaged probably aren't the ones picking up the phone.
exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
It's the younger and the fence sitters, right?
Yeah.
Because if you've already chosen your party.
I kind of feel like most people already know which way they're going to go.
Sure, but it sure would be nice to be a little more energized. And if the Republicans don't care because they're going to usher in one party rule. So it doesn't really matter if you were behind their candidate or not, right? But with the Dems, they need to be a little bit further down, a little
more
further
assertive,
focused,
a little
right?
bit
It's
more.
because I listened to Gretchen Whitmer, the capable governor of Michigan last night, talking about the deep bench that the Democrats have. All these potential candidates, I'm like, she didn't bother to mention one.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, and everybody is
not
just
so
skipping
deep.
over Kamala Harris for whatever reason that is. I don't know why, but you're just not hearing it. So what does that mean then?
Well, the
It's
interesting
like,
thing is that same poll showed that Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris are polling above Trump, where Biden is maybe a point or two behind. Both of those potential candidates are polling above him.
oh, Hillary's not going, but Kamala Harris.
No,
hello.
but yeah,
How about
yeah.
Kamala Harris and Governor Whitmer or whatever? Do
be
that.
good with that, yeah.
Or you know what I mean? Or, I don't know, the ghost of Gary Hart. Something, I don't know. But it's got to be somebody that's younger than 70. It's
Gary
got to
Hart
be,
was the guy
and
that
can
had
at least.
the blonde on his knee, right?
That sunk him, dude.
And he was
It's like
on
in-
his way, right?
He was on his way to the presidency,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
But then he got on a boat and he's just like, I dare the paparazzi to follow me. I double dogger, and they did.
I'm
and they got him having an
JFK
affair.
reincarnated.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Oh
you
my
are.
God.
Jesus.
I don't. But if he drags down the bottom of the ticket stuff, that's shitty.
Yeah.
And it's a dick move.
Yeah.
If we lost the House because Joe Biden won't step away, that's a dick move.
That really is.
And it'll sully his legacy. You know?
Totally screw us up for the
Well, yes,
Yeah.
that also.
Yeah, but speaking of that, I think you were talking about the plan, right? The Project 2025,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
Have you guys dug into this at all?
I haven't read it, but I've heard a lot about it, and
Yeah.
it sounds like we definitely do not want Trump in office. If
No,
nothing
we
else
don't.
because
And
of
we
that.
need to root out these radicals.
Yeah, and he's-
they're the radicals. It's not the radical leftists making policy. Name
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Name one Marxist making policy.
Right,
one.
right.
One. But we can name a lot of heritage guys and Federalist Society people who are making long-lasting policy.
Yeah.
They are radicals. They are not conservatives. They are radical psychopaths.
Every time I hear the word radical left, all I hear is, we're radical and you're not. Ha ha.
Yeah, and it's messaging, right? It's messaging because I keep seeing like memes that say, "Why do Democrats have to be the second coming? Why do they have to have the perfect candidate
candidate.
They're
that speaks
projecting.
perfectly,
They're
that
projecting.
has the best, lines, that can speak perfectly, that can
Well, I'll
energize."
take halfway decently.
They're projecting.
When the other side has the complete, utter.
Well, because they just march in lockstep, but they're also a minority. There
think-
aren't as many. We have a much broader base, and there are more people that go with that, with our policies,
Yeah.
right? The actual, by far.
Yeah.
It's like they are a minority party, but they get equal billing because they're
Everything
corporate
they
whores.
cry about are things that their party's doing.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Also because they're better at that kind of propaganda.
And
Right.
they're projecting every time they say you guys are doing this. That's what their guys are doing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But Project 2025 is everybody's trying to tie it to Trump, which they probably should, because most of the guys that wrote this thing or are part of the Heritage Foundation are his political advisors. They worked on
Yeah.
his campaigns.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
worked in his White House.
Yeah,
they did
they're
all
up to
these
the
things.
tippy top.
And some of the stuff, the one main thing that they're talking about quite a bit is that the goal is for, let's say Trump gets elected, he will come in and, no, I know, it sounds off. It always sounds off.
it's perfect right now.
Okay, good. Perfect. I like that. Is that they will come in and fire all the career, non-political government employees and replace them with political employees. So you're talking high-level DOJ people that have been there for years and know how to make
And just
it run. FBI.
Because they don't care if government fails.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Well, and I was talking to the wife last night, and I'm like, picture this. Picture they come in and they fire the director of every FBI office across the country. Fire them, kick them out, or demote them down, and then they put a political appointee in charge of every FBI office.
Yeah, sounds like KGB shit, doesn't it?
Oh my God.
Doesn't it?
I'm like, what?
Yeah. And let alone like say OSHA and EPA, et cetera,
Not even touching that.
so that they just flush those
Yes.
regulatory agencies down the drain because
Down the
the
drain.
judicial system's alady trying to.
Yes.
Right. So now, so all of those things that protect us from our corporate. Demigods, or whatever you want to call them, the ones who want to rule over us, right?
Yeah.
It's that regulatory state that pushes back against them. They're like, Just like what Mar was saying, and Mar is a died in the blue Democrat, God bless him, and he is very active. But the automatic assumption that it's the regulatory state fucking up business is typically backwards.
Yeah.
It's the regulatory state that's saving us from business.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally
it's like, I mean, yes.
Yeah.
Lake Washington was unswimmable, and you couldn't eat anything from it.
Yes.
And it's a huge body of water.
Yes.
Business did that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? The regulatory system didn't do that.
What year was that? That was 70. When did they clean
Our
that?
lifetimes.
Yeah, I know. It was in our lifetime.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. Getting off of politics, especially talking about poo-poo.
Let me ask you this real quick. Yesterday was really, really, really hot. What did you guys do to stay cool yesterday?
I went to the dump and got super irritated. I had to go to the dump, and so I had to drag down a box spring, bookcases, and a bunch of shit from my condo to the van, stuff it in the fucking van with no air conditioning, and I was so mad.
Did you go to this one?
No, because this one closes, so I had to go to Bow Lake.
Bow
dude.
Lake? Yeah. Jesus.
Oh, dude, I was hot, and I was hot. I was the most mad. I was amazed that I can still get that mad. I've been that mad since I was probably 25.
If you were,
I was really
mad.
mad.
Bruce Banner, you would have turned into the Hulk. Is what you're
Oh
saying.
yeah, I would have smashed a bunch of shit.
Man.
No, and remember last week we were talking about top 5 superpowers in the Amaterasu. I was talking about the Sharingan Eye.
Yeah.
You can burn shit with it. And then I'm telling you, I would fucking burn it all. So it's good I don't have that on days that I'm mad.
Yeah, we're glad you don't either.
Yeah. What did you do, Todd?
We went down to the market,
nice.
the farmers market yesterday here in Renton. Every Tuesday at 3 o'clock, I think.
Did you see Ray?
Yeah, did he play?
I guess he was playing
man.
down there.
If he was there, I didn't see it.
I don't know what time he was
Yeah, you
playing.
heard it.
There wasn't live music playing while we were there. Plus, there was half the normal people of the groups of
Sellers and stuff.
vendors and
Yeah, it's
whatnot.
hot as fuck.
And there was
because nobody
maybe
wanted to be
a
out
third
there.
of the number of vendors there that there are there normally. So
Did our new friend Greg from Print Ritual?
he was
down?
not there.
He was not there. Okay.
It was, but
was
it
a
was
kid.
it was like in the late '90s yesterday, dude. So I'm
Yeah, it
surprised
was,
anyone was down there.
It was
Yeah.
rough.
When we were planning on going down to the lake, or not lake, but down to the river
Sure.
down here and
That
just
was
kind
the
of
best.
wade in the cold water and
Yeah.
just cool off. We didn't actually make it down to the river. We end up just Chris turned on the soaking hose and
Sucker hose, huh?
yeah, and just kind of like we just stood there.
Just let it just splash.
Nice.
I was like,
right.
you know, I'm cooling off just with this. We don't need to go down to the river, but at some point this summer, I definitely want to do that because I haven't been on that river since I was a teenager. So
Oh, it's wonderful. It is, and it's cold.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
It changes your whole body goes, well, you're not hot anymore.
By the way,
Down to the center.
flip that switch.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
where
it's
all
so
the
good.
body parts that can retract do retract.
Yeah, it's so good. 'Cause, yeah, you can just, walk down right by Cargo Theater.
Yeah, and
Walk
go right
down
there.
the stairs and just plop right in. There used to be a wall there. Now it's just a deep part. You
That-
just go gloob.
When I was
Oh, it's so good.
when I was a toddler, that's where my mom used to take us to cool off because Henry Moses used to be where the skate park is now, and that cost money to go in there. So we would go to underneath where you were just
No,
talking
that's
about,
great.
and I almost drowned in the river.
Well,
because-
geez, bummer. That's bad.
yeah, I have memories of that till this day, and I'm almost 53. Like deciding it was a good idea to lay flat in the water because then my whole body would cool off. But then I didn't know that I was going to go downriver.
Yeah. Just get launched. Yeah.
And I didn't know
End
how
up at the
to.
locks.
I didn't know how to swim yet, so I was sitting there gasping for air, and this guy
bummer, dude.
jumped in the river, swam out, grabbed me, pulled me back to the
man.
shore, and I think that later that summer, my mom had me in swimming lessons.
Oh, well, that's good too.
Yeah.
And with the cedar, you can find a spot that's only 6 inches deep and
Yeah.
just grab on, just grab the rocks.
Chris was talking about going down to that park that's off of Wells,
Like the Dragon Park?
probably.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
you
know.
can walk straight in from there. too.
Yeah.
It's nice. You have to, have some kind of shoes on. I get Crocs, though.
Oh, yeah,
Crocs are
no,
perfect,
I'll wear my Crocs.
Yeah, something like that. You're set, dude.
I actually thought about going to like Walmart and grabbing myself some
And
aqua socks or
the
something.
river loses volume, but it's always cold. It'll never be so hot that you're like, because like the lake, if the lake gets kind of tepid, you're like, this is getting gross now. You can watch the algae blooms and shit. It's like, but the river's not that way. It's always.
Oh, man.
And the cold river water will feel great when it's like 90-something degrees
So
outside.
good.
Nice.
So good.
Well, speaking of feeling great, boys, Nicolas Cage, who's got several projects coming out, one of them being that Spider-Man Noir, I think is coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Noir.
He picked his favorite movie. Do you guys have a favorite Nick Cage movie?
Honestly, I think for me, it has to be National Treasure.
Oh, geez, I forgot about that. Yeah, I'd either do Color Out of Space or The Unbearable. Well,
That was
so
really
good.
I just finally
so
watched
good.
Finally watched
Because he's
that.
just having so much fun with it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think for me, I got to go with the action, and so it's either going to be the Rock or the Con Air.
Yeah.
Con Air is just so over the top ridiculousness.
Yeah, geez. But Color Out of Space is a good movie.
Yeah, it definitely is. He picked his favorite movie. Did you guys read ahead?
The other one is that vampire movie he just did, Renfield.
Oh, yeah.
Renfield was good.
That was good, too.
Do you guys do you want
I
to
have
take a
not,
guess
no.
what his favorite is?
No.
It was recent.
Moonstruck.
No, it was more recent. Pig. Have you seen
I
this?
have not.
Oh, it is really
All
good.
right. He's a chef, right? A retired chef?
Kind of, yeah. He's giving it all up. He's like, fuck it, I'm done. And he goes out and lives in the woods, and he's got a truffle pig, and that's how he raises a little bit of money. He lives in this like very modest cabin, right, in a shack basically in the woods, and he has this truffle pig dig up truffles that he can sell and make a little bit of money. And then somebody steals his pig, and he goes on a fucking tear to get his pig back.
So this is John Wick with Nick Cage, and instead of a dog, it's a pig.
Because it's not constant like fighting and stuff.
Sure,
he's just an angry guy.
Man.
He's already angry at the world. That's why he's sort of distanced himself from everybody. But this way, he's like, I want my fucking pig back, because that's his only joy in life.
Sure,
right? It's his friend.
And people love pigs, man.
Yeah.
I've never
that came
befriended
out,
one.
2021.
Yeah, no, I remember a pig.
If I had a pig, I'd call it bacon.
Nice. But I know truffle pigs are a thing. And you can train dogs as well to do it, but I think pigs are really good at it.
I think the pigs have a much more.
They do, and they're meant for rooting, right? That's kind of what they do.
Yeah.
That's why their nose is built like that. It's like a little.
Yeah,
like
they're
a little
amazing
stone.
creatures. They're just not kosher.
But they taste delicious.
That's the word on the street.
Well, the word on the street, boys, and I don't know why they're doing this, but you remember Sergio Leone's Fistful of Dollars?
Oh, yeah.
Clint Eastwood, the start of
$3 more.
the Man with No Name.
Yeah, no, they're great.
They're going to remake it.
Oh, about that.
Yeah. This is the one where, he's chasing dude, and then came A Few Dollars More, and then Good, the Bad, and the
Because
Ugly.
the first one is where he comes to town, right?
That's right. He's in town
And there's
he's
two
playing
rival
both
gangs.
sides.
Yeah.
And they made Bruce Willis was in a movie where he played sort of the same character. I don't remember the name of it, but it takes place like in the 20s, and it's mobster against mobster. It's like moonshiners versus moonshiners.
I think it's a Kiritori, not a Kiritori.
Yeah, it's
Kurosawa.
Kurosawa. Yeah.
Toriyama's Dragon Ball. That's
because he
slightly
originally
different.
did the film Yojimbo. Yojimbo.
Yeah. Which I think means
1961.
It's like Ronin, kind of like swordsman, but not official swordsman of the state.
Might watch it. It's so new that they don't have any casting news, no director news, none of that stuff. There's your man. There's your dude.
But still, I don't know. I really like those movies.
I do too.
I really do.
I just can't
and
picture
the dubbing,
anybody.
because everything's recorded off screen.
Have
but
they
they're
said
brilliant.
who's going to be playing the part that?
No casting news
Angela
yet.
Lansbury as 94-year-old Clint
Eastwood.
Eastwood.
Honestly, I think it's going to be Pratt. If it's going to be anybody, it's going to be Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt?
Yeah.
Geez, all right.
I don't know, because I don't think he has he's Star-Lord, and he does a great Star-Lord, Ford, but I don't
That's
think
essentially a cowboy, dude. Come on.
But he doesn't have the
grittiness?
The gritty.
I don't know. I wouldn't put it past him. I bet he could. I bet he could. He's just.
He doesn't have that alpha dude kind of.
Because I could see like a young Denzel doing it, right? Because he's got the grit.
Oh, sure.
Right?
Denzel's not young.
Right, yeah.
No, what?
Yeah.
He's not young.
That's what I said. A young Denzel could do it.
Yeah, sure.
Trying to think of who else might be.
You know what? Like a gritty kind of like who could do a cowboy kind of thing. Shit. I'm trying to blank on the dude's name now. There's a Canadian actor who's the creator of Letterkenny. I think he could probably.
Oh, good thinking. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Queso.
Yes.
Jared Queso.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I grew up with those. Waited every year for KSCW or KCPQ to do their Clint Eastwood week.
Yes.
Just so we could watch those.
So good.
Yeah.
And The Good, the Bad, the Ugly is, I mean, one of the most magnificent films ever made.
Yes.
It is huge.
Yeah.
And I mean, I say it really does.
Massive
easily, yes,
undertaking.
with John Ford stuff. It is. It's huge. It's huge. And it's just wonderful.
I like John Ford's
And they did
cinematography
it for like
better,
$9
but-
and a carton of smokes. I swear to God.
American cigarettes.
I mean, it's amazing. It's
Ford
amazing.
had much better cinematography, but just on the sheer
scope of it
was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's probably a no-name actor. God, is it not picking up my voice? It doesn't sound like it's. I'm hearing.
I'm hearing you pretty good.
Okay, because it sounds like I'm coming from across the room in my headphones.
Hello.
All right.
Hello.
Is there anybody in there?
Smile if you can hear me. Fireworks show or drone show? I prefer the drones these days just because of the noise
Honestly,
stuff.
yeah, I'm with you on that one. I don't really care for fireworks as much as I used to.
Not like I used to as a kid.
I went over to the vice president of the neighborhood association's house for the 4th of July because Chris went over there and said, "Hey, you want to come with me?" I was like, "Yeah, sure. It'd be great. Hang out with a bunch of new people and watch fireworks go off." And they had a couple mortars, and I wasn't expecting it to be lit 10 feet from me. Fucking
loud.
It scared the crap out of me. I wasn't expecting it, and so I was jumping for the rest
Weren't
of the
those
evening.
illegal within the city limits?
Yes, Mr.
I know
President.
nothing.
Well, a drone light show up in SeaTac at Angle Lake. They ended up losing a bunch of drones.
Oh yeah, Chris
did you
was
hear
talking about
those?
that. Yeah, he said that there was like was it 2,500 drones that like fell out of the sky?
It was 55 of the 200 drones.
Oh, wow, geez, that's a lot.
Suddenly lost their GPS setting and didn't know where they were. So instead of allowing them to crash somewhere, the operator had to just have them drop, just power
Because
off,
you can't
drop
send
into
them
the
somewhere
water.
they can bonk somebody.
Can't figure out where to go.
Oh, geez, that was costly.
$2,600 a unit.
No.
That's what I was thinking.
$2,600 a unit.
Wow.
Times 55. If I do the math correctly, I did it right here.
Yeah, good job.
$143,000
In lost stuff. Oh, that's a
drones.
drag. Unless you could just put them in a big box of rice or something.
Was it like
Gotta fish them out of the water
Yeah,
first.
go buy 10 grand worth of rice and just dunk those motherfuckers. It'll be fine.
Chris said that somebody used a
jammer or something?
jammer or something.
Oh,
I don't know.
That wasn't reported in
Fucking
the story.
Putin, dude. Putin's trying to destroy the 4th of July.
yeah.
Piece of shit.
Yeah, geez, and the city paid $40K to have this show put on, but the company lost. I mean, I hope the taxpayer. I don't think they would.
No,
be on
they
the
would
hook
have to.
for
They
it,
could sue
but-
to get their money back. For sure.
Yeah,
Because that's an incompletion of contract, right?
Yeah, sure.
Because that's a quarter of the.
Yeah, hopefully they
Unless
had.
they can make it happen still.
Hopefully they probably did have a bunch of insurance on those things. But
I wonder if this is the same drones we're going to have at the end of the month.
here in Renton, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
During just after the parade or on the Sunday
Is
after
it?
the parade.
What is Mike talking about, folks?
Oh.
Our Town Podcast is going to be in the
Jeez, nicely
Renton
done,
River
guys.
Days Parade. We got our spot. I don't know where in line we are. I'm sure it's right behind the horses. So we're going to be driving through the horse shit. But look for us. We've got a Jeep Grand Cherokee
Very
with a
nice.
giant ducky on top
yes.
and a bubble machine. And then a few of you guys are going to be whipping around on scooters, right?
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to be
That's
skipping.
the plan, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, throwing dum-dums. I mean, handing out calmly and
Dum-dums
carefully.
and stickers and dum-dums for the kids. Just for the kids, though. So come down. It's 10 a.m. on July 27th,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great time.
Yeah, it'll be so much
It's
fun.
the little parade that could.
Yeah, and I'll be driving the car, so at least I've got air conditioning.
Yeah. He's all smiling the whole time. Plus, there's a bunch of kids and drill team and shit.
Yeah, it's a
cute,
cool-
man.
cool
It's a
event.
good. It
Yeah.
is. It's
I
nice.
did it last year with King Kong Northwest, and it was fine. We walked. There was like half a dozen of us in costume, and I was wearing my full
Yeah,
Ghostbusters
Ghostbusters. Yeah, I
gear.
remember
and-
that.
Are you going to be in
Sitting right
costume on
there.
this one?
I wasn't planning on it, but I figured I'd wear my podcast shirt that I made, and
So my understanding is we're going to have 3 scooters.
Meep.
Heather's going to bring her electric scooter and have Lily on the scooter, and then the 2 older kids are going to be in like the big wheel, the
Power
Barbie
Wheel?
Jeep, the Power Wheels.
Oh, nice.
They'll be in those, all decked out in festive colors, and then you 2 jokers will be on scooters,
Yeah.
right?
I
Is
can
that-
I need to. I actually texted Marianne about borrowing the scooters this morning. I haven't heard back.
Nice. And I did buy some yellow buckets so we can zip tie them to the handlebars or whatever. So you got to reach in and
And,
give
and I
out
got
stuff.
that speaker back there to
I can just have them in my pants.
attach to one of the scooters. So yeah, to attach that to one of the scooters, either playing music or maybe one episode of the podcast or whatever, And
Yeah. Nice. Right on. Back to the podcast.
Oh, hey.
yeah. Meanwhile, back at the
We
podcast.
had Dr. Marvin on a little bit ago talking about restaurants and stuff. Did you hear that Seattle-based pizza chain is possibly going to declare bankruptcy?
Oh,
It's
no.
Really?
Mod
Which one?
Pizza.
Mod pizza? Oh, yeah, geez.
Really?
I didn't know they were saddle-based.
They were one of the fastest growing fast casual
Really?
restaurants in the country. I think they had like 500. They have like 500 locations. I don't know if they overextended themselves, but the flagship is down in Pioneer Square in Seattle.
Okay,
And there's one in
yeah.
Kent Station, I think. I think that's
There's
the only
one
one I've
up
been
in
to.
Fairwood.
There's one up in.
And towards Issaquah.
Yeah, there's one in Issaquah. There's one over in between Renton and Victoria.
Yeah.
Is that where you just kind of order?
Yeah, it's
Like almost like
it's a
cafe
fast
pizza.
pizza.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's awesome pizza. It's
not
tasty.
terrible.
Yeah.
Pizza fix. You need pizza fix.
Sure.
It's good, but it's I mean, you can go in and just tell them real quickly what you want. They have some pre-designed
Sure.
ones,
Yeah.
but then it's kind of like Subway. They
Yeah.
kind of throw
Yeah,
it
yeah.
on there for you. What
I
you
mean,
want,
geez, yeah.
and then they throw it in the oven, and it's pretty quick to get.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
nothing to brag about.
Yeah, I don't know if that is overextended or if some, giant company bought it to liquidate it or whatever,
I don't know.
There's a lot of shenanigans and
Right.
large-scale economic stuff.
It sounds like they've closed about 26 locations
Well,
already.
yeah.
So,
And they had one over in Silverdale too, I think.
oh yeah.
500 locations is a lot.
That's a lot of, and I don't know
Yeah.
if they're franchised or if they're all corporate or
geez.
what.
I've had their pizza once or twice, and it's not terrible, but it's not great either.
Yeah,
No.
it's not a
Yeah.
destination
It's-
joint,
Honestly,
maybe for
I
a
mean,
kid or something.
and this is saying a lot because in the last 10 years, Domino's has improved on their pizza quite a bit. Because back in the day, they were just a notch better than frozen pizza.
Yeah. Favorite pizza chains? If you have to get a pizza chain,
If you're talking about ones that are still around, or
it's
all
still
time.
around that you would get.
honestly, either Papa John's or Domino's, maybe Pizza Hut.
Yeah, geez, I don't know. I typically end up with pizza, but I'm not thrilled by it. Every time I'm irritated.
Yeah.
But a round table's okay, but you can't order that.
Round Table, you can't. Yeah,
No, you can't.
And I
They
haven't
don't
been to
deliver
that
it.
one in a while.
That's
we
the
really
only one
like
I've
the
been
Round
to
Table.
that I could think
yeah.
of. Remember Pizza and Pipes and shit?
Yeah.
Oh man, there's a bunch back there.
Yeah.
Pizza Haven.
Yeah.
I don't. Where did they go? How did
I don't know.
Pizza's easy.
Pizza and Pipes was over in Bellevue, right?
I think, or Factoria maybe.
Victoria, maybe. Yeah.
No, I think it was downtown. It was downtown Bellevue.
So dramatic. How dramatic is that?
My daughter loves the Domino's, so she's
right
always
on.
begging us
Yeah.
to order Domino's.
There you go.
To be fair, though, I mean, like I said, Domino's has improved on their pizza in the last couple decades.
And it's not bad, and it's still pretty fast. It's not 30
And
minutes
relatively
or less.
inexpensive.
But
They've always got a deal going on.
Yeah.
Pizza Dudes isn't terrible. I don't know if that's a chain.
Now,
That might be just
Pizza
one.
Dudes is really good
Yeah.
pizza, but
Yeah.
I think they're a small chain. I don't think they're a big one.
I hear Smoking Monkey now delivers.
Oh, geez, right on. I don't think I've been there since they changed hands, so
I
I need to
haven't
make a
been there
point
since
of
they
it.
changed. Yeah, we should go down there and have a
Honestly,
pizza.
the only time I've eaten inside is that one time we all went there last year.
Oh, for Gong
Oh,
Show.
yeah, we sure did. Wow, I
which is
forgot
coming
about
up,
that.
ladies and gentlemen, on September 14th.
Oh,
Gong Show at
goodness
Lansing's on
sakes.
3rd, right down the block.
Love
so,
it, yeah.
go to the website and get more info on that. Or go to
Yes, do it.
Facebook. We got it on the events
Yes.
page. So
It's going to be a hoot and
it's
a
going to
holler.
be great.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. So Mod, I don't know. They're considering bankruptcy. They're not there yet. I think they've hired a firm to come in and kind of figure out their finances and stuff. But I mean, it's pretty weird because you just saw them just grow, new stores, the whole thing. But I don't know. Boys, Uranus.
Yes.
Speaking of pizza. Every 17 hours, this is science news, every 17 hours, Uranus leaks gas.
Truer words have never been spoken.
So basically, as Uranus tilts on its axis and it's doing its spin thing, it goes into a certain degree, and I don't remember what it is, but some of the atmosphere leaks out into space because of the magnetic pole, the gravity pull, and all that from the sun. They call it atmospheric escape, which I'm going to
Where
use
does it
every
go?
time I fart around the wife.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're not wrong.
It just goes into space.
Oh.
Becomes space dust, I guess.
and
I
it
don't
just-
know what kind of chemicals are on I don't know what kind of chemicals are on Uranus.
In Uranus. I don't know. I would think methane something. But
Some
no,
kind of
methane implies, or is that ammonia? One of them implies. I think methane implies organic stuff.
Yeah.
I know it's cold as fuck out there. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Uranus.
Who knows? I don't know. We should probably try to put a pipe out there and absorb it all, whatever it is.
Yeah, we want, if it were worth something, that would be happening right now. Oh, yeah, so also, totally sidebar, but people are blaming the push for electric cars, right, on the fact that we're going to run out of natural power, right? All the dams are going to hit capacity in like the next 10, 15 years, right? But most of that is because of like server farms for AI that we don't really want. It's like, I don't remember asking these guys to put all of these watts into AI, to steal artwork, to steal written work, to steal all this other shit. It's like, I didn't ask for that. I wouldn't mind cheap electricity just so I don't like bake. Or
I mean, you could go solar.
yeah, we sure could.
Yeah.
Sure could. Eastern Washington's,
I've been seeing a lot of advertisements. God, why does it sound like I'm always in this other room?
Because it's hot. The heat waves. It's like we're looking at an oasis.
Maybe it's my hearing going bad or something. I don't know. I'm seeing it light up on the board, but I'm not hearing it in my headphones.
I don't know. Are you supposed to be speaking into the top of the mic like that, or?
Yeah.
Oh.
Right there.
Do.
Yep.
Every mic's got a sweet spot.
My buddy Josh has solar. They bought a house and it came with solar panels already installed.
Nice.
So that's a good thing for him. But because it's past the 5, he's still got another 10 or 15 years on the warranty on it, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
But because it's past the 5 years, when he produces, like in the summertime, when he produces extra electricity and he sends it back into the grid, he doesn't get paid for that. That's only for like the first 5 years that you have it.
Really?
So he's giving free electricity
to somebody who's
Puget
just like
Sound
letting
Energy
shit
or
run.
whoever.
Yeah. I just leave my stove running all year and then have the air conditioner make up the difference. Well, then he needs to call his local legislator and get that
I would
changed.
think so, yeah.
Right? It's like, yes, and that's one more reason that we should abso-fucking-lutely, either locally, et cetera, but nationalize the grid.
Yeah.
It's like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Why would would we leave that to private enterprise at all?
It doesn't make any sense.
It's dumb.
It's dumb.
It's dumb. And we could improve, I just also read, if we just change the physical wiring in all those big overhead, you see the high tension wires that Godzilla so fucking recklessly knocks down over and over. Godzilla, knock it off. That shit's expensive. But we
He's
get
making
almost
jobs.
50%.
He's a job creator, Mike.
He is a job creator. Thank you, Godzilla.
Yeah.
I spoke rashly. 50% improvement just by changing out the material that those wires are made of.
Yeah.
Right? Not digging new ones, not
Right.
blah, blah, nothing else.
Yeah.
Just updating
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
shit. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So there are options.
Speaking of AI, boys, have you seen this? If you're a fan of the Terminator series, there's a new anime show coming out on Netflix in August. It's called Terminator Zero. It takes place in Japan. Basically, there's 8 episodes. Malcolm Lee has developed this, or Malcolm Lee, the character, is developing another AI system that's supposed to be competing with Skynet.
Oh.
So what happens is, as Judgment Day of 1997 approaches, he finds himself and his 3 children pursued by an unknown robot assassin, somebody from the future that's trying to kill him before
man.
he can
Yeah.
create this competitor to Skynet.
Keep Skynet from ever being born.
Right, but
Yeah.
then there's also a mysterious soldier from the year 2022 that has been sent to protect him. Timothy Oliphant
Oh, sure. Everybody loves that.
is the voice of the
Kyle
the
Reese?
Terminator, I think.
Oh.
I think he's the Terminator. And then big fans here, Rosario Dawson is going to play the voice of the AI that this guy has created.
Nice.
And there's a couple of other actors that you would recognize, but maybe not by name.
Jeez, that's great.
That are part of this project. So it's kind of cool.
I'm glad to see him expand out of the John Connor
Yes.
portion of the universe. Right?
And it's an interesting way to do it, because now you've got this whole other storyline that Skynet needs to take out this person,
Yeah.
not to just to have that
Fucking Skynet. It's always
I've
Skynet.
seen it advertised on Netflix, but I haven't.
Have you seen any previews or anything?
There's not a preview for it yet.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. No, so,
Jeez, I'm down. We were just talking about Terminator 2 earlier today.
Were you really?
1 and 2.
Nice, nice.
They're just
Boys,
incredible.
we were remiss because we had Greg from Print Ritual last week. We didn't talk about the new movies coming out in July. So now we're sort of midway into July and a little farther by the time you folks are watching this. Do you want to talk about some of the movies that are coming out this
What
month?
movies?
All right. There's a movie called
Boneyard?
Boneyard. It's when the skeletal remains of 11 women and girls are discovered in the New Mexico desert. An extensive investigation is launched. The only reason I mention this is because Mike's favorite actor, Mel Gibson,
Oh, he's a bigot.
and 50 Cent are going to to be in this. So it's
Jeez.
kind of an interesting.
Yeah.
I think 50 Cent plays like a cop, and I don't know what Mel Gibson plays. Whatever.
It's an old racist.
So it's not a stretch.
Yeah. I mean, they wanted to give him something he's comfortable with. I got $10 on. I mean, Mel might be in good shape, and I think he is. But,
Yeah.
no, 50'd kill him.
Yeah.
He called,
Oh, yeah.
He said let some weird shit slip.
No, Mel's not against African American people.
That's
It's
right.
just Jews.
It's just the Jews.
Just the Jews.
And his ex.
Yeah.
Who may or may not have been a Jew. I don't know.
That's on video demand. It came out July 2nd. July 4th, our nation's birthday, Despicable Me 4 came out. It's the 4th installment in the popular franchise. Has Will Ferrell, Steve Carell, and Stephen Colbert, all
fun.
voices. That's
Sure.
out in theaters. I don't know how well it's doing. It's been out
I
for...
haven't seen it yet, but I like the other ones, and the Minions are always hilarious.
The Minions are fun. They're
Sure.
cute little
Sure.
things. Yeah. I haven't watched this yet. I've been remiss. I was going to watch it this weekend, but Beverly Hills Cop 4 is on Netflix.
I can tell you right now, it is definitely worth the watch.
Oh, nice.
Chris, I talked Chris into watching, and he's not one to watch like new remakes or sequels.
It's an additional film, right?
44 years after the fact.
Yeah, it's actual Foley again.
It is Eddie Murphy in his early 60s, and he goes back to L.A. Because his daughter lives out there. And so
hijinks ensue.
Right on.
I ain't gonna fall for none of that banana in the tailpipe.
I use that line at least once a week. And most of the time people are like...
And Judge Reinhold is back.
Nice.
And the other guy,
and
the
his
older
partner,
Murtaugh, right? Was the character name?
No, that would be the
that's
Mel
Lethal
Gibson
Weapon.
movie.
Okay. Speaking of race.
I can't remember.
I don't remember his name, but
yeah, but Judge Reinhold, come on.
Judge, and you haven't seen him
Great.
forever.
No, from Matt.
His partner is now the new chief.
Oh, nice.
So,
Okay. And Kevin Bacon himself is the bad guy, right?
Good,
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah.
Come on.
So
Dirty
I'm gonna watch it. I'll probably talk the wife into watching it.
Chris said he goes, it is nostalgic enough for you to like it if you like the originals, but it's done well enough that even if you haven't seen the originals, you'll still like it.
Sure.
Okay.
That's exciting.
That is on Netflix and it's out now. So go watch it.
It's Eddie Murphy. I mean, he's been part of the, if not comedic, but just the soundtrack of our lives.
Oh, yeah.
Since we were, 12?
Mount Rushmore of 80s comedians.
Yeah.
Pretty close,
Yeah,
right? I
it's
would
gotta
say.
be up there.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
gotta be up
Eddie
there.
Murphy and
Delirious is a killer.
Yes.
Oh,
I mean,
Richard Pryor, George Carlin.
Sure.
George Carlin. I'd even go
Yeah.
think John Candy should be on that too.
I mean, it's hard to say, but are we talking stand-up
Yeah, I
or
know, I
actor?
know.
I'm talking about the comedic acting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kid Carlin did a little bit of crossover, but
Yeah, he was mostly stand-up.
He
stuff.
didn't actually get into acting until like the 90s,
Yeah,
early
probably.
2000s.
oh, yeah, he was Rufus.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
And he was Mr. Conductor for quite a while.
Oh, he sure was.
I think that was in the 80s,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, nice.
Maybe early
Oh,
90s.
what a sweet guy.
Yeah.
He tried to tell us.
He did.
He really did.
He really did.
George was warning us fucking
A long time ago.
40 plus years ago.
Yeah,
He said
Jesus.
it out loud.
Yeah.
Thank you, George.
Boys on Max, you can find, and I don't know if this is a math equation or if it's Godzilla times Kong.
It's
or if
Godzilla
it's-
Hearts Kong.
I've watched it.
I did too, and it's awful and wonderful all at the
Okay.
same time.
It's the new Empire.
Yeah.
I really liked it. Fuck you, Mike.
Yeah, but I mean, it's exactly what it needs to be a giant smash everything
I mean,
film.
it's a
But
it's a
I
kaiju
don't-
movie. What do you
it is.
expect?
Well, that the bad guy should have been a little better, and that he just happened to harm his right hand, and they just happen to have a piece of armor for his
It's
right
science
hand.
fiction, Mike. It
Well,
doesn't
that
need to
was
make sense for it to be
It's
entertaining.
fiction, Todd.
They're job
I won't
creators,
put the
Mike.
science word in there.
Why are you always bagging on the job
But
creators?
I watched it immediately. The second it came out, I'm
Did you?
Oh, no, I'm not saying.
Although-
Is it better than the 98 Matthew Broderick one?
Hands down better. Yeah.
Then I'll probably watch it.
Yeah.
And the CGI is great, and everything gets smashed. and-
Does it follow the same storyline as the TV show,
Yeah.
all the
Monarch,
Monarch
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's all in that same.
It's in that same universe.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, because there's still multiple Titans, and Godzilla is not playing.
Yeah,
right.
it's-
he's all business. The
They-
guy's all business.
It's the Monarch company is also monitoring all the Titans and stuff, and
And Kong has grown since the Mecha Godzilla film of a few years back.
Yeah.
Because now he's just about the same size. I mean, Godzilla's a little bigger, but not much.
they're about the same size.
Yeah.
Well, over on Prime Video, boys, a movie called Space Cadet, which follows a Florida party girl who turns out to be the only hope for NASA's space program
God.
after a fluke puts her in training with other candidates who may have better resumes but don't have her smarts, heart, and moxie.
No.
I tried watching it yesterday, and quickly my ADHD said, "Ooh, shiny." But it was a fun movie. I will
Okay.
say that.
It stars Emma Roberts and always lovely Gabrielle Union,
Oh, geez, there you
which
go.
I'm very, and David Foley of
News radio.
yeah.
Kids in the Hall.
Kids in the Hall
Yeah.
fame. So,
I mean, It was.
Is it a romantic comedy or is it a rom-com?
It's the target demographic would be women, I think.
Okay.
That's why I was cringing quite a bit. I had a secondary embarrassment for the character all the way through the movie. I was like, why are you doing this? No, stop. And then things worked out for her anyway. So.
All right. Well, she's got moxie and heart.
She's got heart and moxie.
That's always a good thing. It came out on July 5th, boys, in theaters. Max XXX Maxine is the third installment of the Ty West and A24's X-horror franchise. If you remember, the first two, the first one was set, I think, in the 70s or very early 80s, where a bunch of young people were going out to a farm to make a porno. Like an actual porno movie. And an old lady terrorized and killed them all, kind of like Jason. I didn't see the second one. The first one was pretty good. It was clever. It was different. The second one came out, took place in the 80s. I'm not sure what this one, but it's Mia Goth. Kevin Bacon's also in this one. Lily Collins, Michelle Monaghan. So a bunch of names are in this. And they've made pretty good money. I don't know much about this.
But it's a slasher type.
It's a slasher movie. The first two were. July 10th. Are we past July 10th?
Yes.
July 10th on Max.
Today is July 10th.
Oh,
Is it really?
Whoa, man.
Movie called Quad Gods. It's a documentary about the lives of 3 New Yorkers with quadriplegic that are quadriplegic. I can't say that word. That meet in a neuro-rehabilitation lab where they create the world's first ever fully quadriplegic esports team.
Wow.
So
Quadriplegia.
Quadriplegia.
Quadriplegic.
Quadriplegic is not the word on the screen here, but
if you are unable to use any of your limbs, you are a quadriplegic. Yes, and therefore you suffer from some condition that gives you quadriplegia.
Yeah. That's on Max. July 11th, Tyler Perry has a new movie called Tyler Perry's Divorce in the Black. That tells the story of a person named Ava, who's a young professional who is devastated when her husband Dallas abandons the marriage she is determined to fight for. However, fate intervenes, revealing Dallas's wicked deeds that have trashed their marriage and once upon a time sabotage Ava's destiny to be loved by her true soulmate. That's on Amazon Prime. Anybody like the Tyler Perry movies?
Oh, sure.
I recently, in the last couple of years, have gotten into watching those, and they're very funny.
Are they? I haven't, like, Medea.
Oh, sure. These are kind of soap opera-y.
Yeah, these are less slapsticky is like Medea.
Those are great, though.
And more Lifetime.
And plus, he is also, employed half of Georgia.
Oh, sure.
The guy is so successful, it's wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But I'm not really into soap operas.
Yeah.
So it's like, but I get it, and he's making decent product, and he's keeping people where.
It's between him and The Walking Dead. They're all
in Georgia,
and they're all the productions in Georgia. Yeah,
and he's probably telling black stories, right?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah,
really. Yeah.
Medea's funny as fuck, though.
The most recent Medea was straight to like Netflix, and it had Mrs. Brown from Mrs. Brown's Boys as a guest on the show. It was great because the family in the Medea movies is the Browns. So one of the Browns' great grandkids are getting married, or going to college or some shit like that. So Mrs. Brown from the British show Mrs. Brown's Boys shows up with her daughter, which is the guy playing Mrs. Brown that's his wife. But they show up, and they're like
very distant cousins or something.
They show up as distant cousins.
Nice.
But they're all the Browns, and it's like and she there's Something was said in you have to watch it. It's on Netflix. It's really funny.
Nice. Coming out July 12th, boys, and this is getting a lot of Nicolas Cage buzz. A movie called Long Legs in theaters. It's about an FBI agent named Lee Harker, who's a gifted new recruit, and he's assigned to an unsolved case of a elusive serial killer. And I think, not to give anything away, Nicolas Cage plays maybe this serial killer or another serial killer, and I guess he's goes for it like only Nick Cage can go for it.
Long Legs.
But a big cast. Blair Underwood, who I haven't seen in forever.
He's been doing podcasts like Twilight Zone podcast.
Oh, has he really?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. Alicia Witt, Nicolas Cage we mentioned, Fred Berger. That's all really only names I recognize. Also in theaters, a movie called Fly Me to the Moon. It's a story around the space race in the 60s, and this stars Scarlett Johansson and Channing Tatum. Woody Harrelson is also in it. That's in theaters.
Yeah. I've seen ads for it quite a bit.
If my daughter was about 4 or 5 years younger, she'd be excited about this. Descendants, The Rise of Red is coming out on Disney+.
I don't know what that is.
Descendants was several different movies. I don't know if this is...
There's like 3, I think, already. I've seen the first 2. It's a dramedy, I guess you could say. They'd be children or the grandchildren of like the big name
Disney characters,
like Maleficent, and
it's like a boarding school.
Yeah, and they're like the kids of like famous nursery rhyme characters or whatever.
Also that day, Johnny Puff, Secret Mission is an animated movie that follows Johnny Puff, who's a ultimate ninja warrior, but he's a puffin who is sent on a mission to defend his village with the help of his friends. Only notable because Johnny Depp voices the main character. So it's a video on demand, July 12th. So this weekend, this past weekend for you folks that are watching this.
Yeah, puffin's like a small-beaked aquatic bird, right?
Yeah. That's why we got those birds in the Star Wars movies, because
that's right, because they were covered.
And they're like
Chewbacca's off roasting one over.
The thing is that there's when you buy that movie, it has a featurette about the puffins and how they had to digitally alter them so they're alien birds.
They turned them into porgs, right?
Porgs,
porgs.
And so they're like, well, what are you gonna do with them? We can't touch them because they're protected.
Geez, then why not shoot somewhere else? Why are you shooting there then?
I mean, that island is really cool.
It really is,
but
it's very alien. Plus, you couldn't have those giant cow things on the coast there anywhere else. It just wouldn't look right.
That giant one.
You know the things that he's milking with
the teat bird?
The giant teats on those. They look like a cross between.
They're indigenous to that island. Yeah, man, I don't know.
Okay?
When people talk to me about those movies, I kind of go, well, let's pretend I didn't.
Okay, everything good? Hello? All right, I don't know. When she calls twice in a row, I'm worried that something's wrong.
No, fair enough.
Sorry, I didn't mean to call you. Okay. Oh, my God.
Well, you should take care of that. Fly
Are you
me
okay?
to the moon.
Stop. I know you're not going to watch this, but I'm going to tell you to stop. Boys, July 16th, the prequel to The Strangers is coming out. It's called The Strangers Chapter 1. It follows a young couple that's going across the country to start a new life up here in the Pacific Northwest. When their car breaks down in Venus, Oregon, they're forced to spend the night in a secluded Airbnb where they're terrorized from dusk till dawn by 3 masked strangers. If you'll remember, the first one I think had Liv Tyler and Scott Speedman, something like
heard
that.
of it, so I have no idea.
The 3 killers, two gals and a guy, they put on masks and they basically just terrorized them. And then the whole time you're like, just fucking pick up a baseball bat and just fucking end this guy.
All things can become weapons.
Right.
It's
It's one of those movies that you're just like so in disbelief that they make so many dumb decisions.
Let's hide behind these running chainsaws.
Yeah, exactly.
Why?
Why don't we just get in the running
right
car?
Yeah.
Let's go hide in the basement. Yeah, it's basically like that. So they made a sequel to that because I guess it did well. And the sequel was the 3 were terrorizing a family, but by the end of that movie, the 3 bad guys were killed.
Oh.
So now they're doing a prequel because it's making money, I guess. So
There you go.
if you're into it, there's a movie called The Dead Don't Hurt. It's a story of star-crossed lovers. Oh, this is the one that I do want to see. This has Viggo Mortensen.
Oh, very good.
And Danny Houston's in it, and Garrett Dillahunt. He was in Fear the Walking Dead and a bunch of other stuff. You would recognize him if you saw him. But it centers on a fiercely independent woman who I believe is an immigrant from one of the Danish countries, right? But she meets Viggo Mortensen, and they start to fall in love, but then he gets called to go join the Civil War. So he's off fighting for 4 years, and he comes back, and there's trouble in town, and they have, but strong woman type, Western kind of stuff. And I think it may have already been out. I think it's coming out on video on demand on the 16th.
Yeah, Viggo's capable.
He's
That's
very
for sure.
capable. And it's getting good reviews, and he directed as well.
Oh, very
So,
nice. Jeez.
yeah.
Well, I don't know if he has done direction before.
I don't know.
I could IMDb that.
But yeah, good, talented guy. So this one's for Todd, July 17th, Todd.
I was just rolling my eyes at that one.
Disciples in the Moonlight is a dystopian future where the Bible has been outlawed. 7 brave Christians risk
God.
everything
So
to transport the holy book to underground churches across the country.
Is this a Hercules movie with what's his face?
I don't think it's Kevin
Sorbo,
Sorbo
yeah.
or anybody
Yeah.
like that.
Or
It sounds-
Jim Caviezel.
It sounds like a Kevin Sorbo movie. I mean, honestly,
But if it's just a knockoff of the Book of Eli, right?
I went to high school with Jim Caviezel.
did you?
Oh, geez.
Yeah, he was at O'Day the same time I
I
was.
mean, man, he picked his side.
Didn't know him or anything,
Yeah.
but yeah.
But yeah, this feels like the Book of Eli, and not in a good way.
Without the Denzel, right? It's like-
I mean,
Because they're
Thank
so
you, Roman.
persecuted. Because Christians in this country are so
Yeah, I know, isn't
persecuted.
it great?
dystopian
It's so
future where the Bible has been outlawed. That sounds like paradise to me.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we just need to be rational beings. We're supposed to be in the age of reason.
I
That's
really
the
don't
problem.
mind the Bible. And I find the
There's-
Bible pretty
no.
fascinating, but
God bless them. People should have the option,
but-
but that's not how we make policy.
Yeah.
The
That's
difference
what it
is people believe it to be history.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. July 18th, and I don't know if you guys saw the first one. I liked the first one. There's a new sequel. It's called My Spy, The Eternal City. It's a sequel to the 2020 comedy with Dave Bautista.
Which I did not. Yeah.
He plays like a undercover spy, and I think he's like dating a woman and the daughter.
Didn't he get found out by
The kid,
The
right?
kid, yeah.
Yeah.
And hijinks ensue.
Yes, but it's got the one lady who's funny from.
Christian Shaw?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, she's good.
I mean, it's a big cast. It's got Craig Robinson. It's got Chris Bender. It's got Ken Jeong. I can't remember pronounce
Sure,
it.
the doctor. Yeah, he's a
Ken
yeah.
Jeong.
Yeah, Jake Weiner.
I don't know Jake Weiner.
I don't know. I just like saying his name.
Jake.
That's on Amazon, boys, on
Nice.
July 18th.
Geez, I don't know. Maybe I'll watch that. I mean,
Yeah, I would watch it.
Kristen Shaw has
sounds
made
like
me
a
laugh.
funny
'Cause
movie.
She was on, what was the one with the 2 New Zealand guys? Oh man, Flight of the Conchords.
Oh, yeah. She's
was on there,
also
too.
Bob's Burgers.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
She plays the girl with the bunny ears hat.
She's great.
Boys in theaters on July 19th, and I thought this might be a sequel to it because
It
what's
is.
his name? Is it a sequel? So
Yeah.
Twisters with Daisy Edgar Jones
And the guy who's
and
everywhere.
Glenn Powell.
Yes,
that's
that
the
guy's
guy that's everywhere. More attorneys in it. It's coming out in theaters on July 19th, and it's remember what was it? Helen Hunt and
Not Woody.
Game Over, man.
Yeah, yes.
Weird Science.
yeah, no, that guy's great.
Bill
And
not
Bill
Bill
Paxton.
Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chet. Yeah.
Chet. Spirit.
Yeah.
So
So
good.
I don't see any mention of no of the characters from before that.
It is a sequel, but it doesn't have anybody from the original movie
Okay.
that I know of.
Is one of them going to end up being
Yeah.
like, I'm the daughter of so and so?
Probably. I've only seen the trailer for it.
sure.
I never saw the original one.
No, I mean,
I've seen it, but it was on video and it was okay. I mean, it wasn't like I need to watch more of the people who were driving in the middle of a tornado.
My brother was, because he's fascinated with weather. We always thought he should have been a weatherman, and he's probably seen it 20 times. He's seen it as many
it's-
times as I've seen like Star Wars.
Sure. Yeah. And the special effects were great, man.
Yeah.
So-
Cow.
Yeah. And
As I know
Paxton's
that
great,
scene.
man.
And Paxton's always great in everything he ever did.
You're in charge.
I think this one might be a rom-com. It's coming out on Netflix. It's got Harry Connick Jr. stars as a failing, aging rock star named John Allman, who's coming off a flop album in his biggest hits dwindling popularity. He decides to take a break from his career to reclaim his spark, so he moves to an isolated cliffside home on the idyllic Mediterranean island of Cyprus.
Yeah, no, it's a rom-com.
And I don't know. People are starting to shoot at him. I don't know. No.
I like Harry Connick Jr. What's the one where he plays a serial killer?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. Yeah.
No
and he's-
clue.
What is it?
No clue.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of that one.
Yeah, I think he's a capable actor and a good musician.
Yeah.
So I got no beef with
Yeah.
that.
Coming out on July 3rd, a movie called The Good Half. It's got Nick Jonas of the Jonas Brothers fame. He stars as Ren, an emotionally distant writer who returns to his hometown of Cleveland, which nobody should ever have to go to.
You said July 23rd, right?
July 23rd, yep.
Okay, making sure because I heard 3rd, and I'm like, you missed a number.
No. For his beloved mother's funeral after having spent several years successfully avoiding interactions with his family. It's got Brittany Snow and David Arquette and the always very lovely Elizabeth Shue is all co-starring in it. And I don't know if that's coming in theaters or if that's video on demand or what.
Has Nick
but-
Jonas been in movies before?
Well, they've done
Yeah.
some stuff as the Jonas Brothers.
He was. I mean, they had a TV
Oh,
show.
which was the one that was in like Jumanji and stuff? Which
Yeah, that was
Jonas,
Nick.
Was that
Okay.
Nick?
That was
Okay.
Nick,
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
forgot
yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
He was.
Is he the handsome one? I don't know. There's
A beat.
They're all
Yeah, I don't know
supposedly
anything about
handsome,
that guy.
so yeah, that doesn't really help. Yeah.
Huh. Yes, and I forgot that he was in the Jumanji movie.
oh my God, boys! To cap off July, Deadpool and
Oh, yeah.
Wolverine.
Yeah, when is that?
Dude,
July 26th.
Nice.
I actually heard a confirmed rumor yesterday about this movie, and I'm really excited to see it now.
Is it that Elektra? Jennifer Garner is going to be in it?
No, it's about a variant on Wolverine.
Oh, nice.
And I don't want to say who they're going to have as a
Don't do
variant
it.
because I don't want to ruin it for
Yes.
Mikey. But I'm excited to see this person with the hair and the claws.
Nice.
It's going to be awesome because
Yeah. It's Sir Patrick Stewart.
Nice.
It's Angela Lansbury.
Nice.
Sir Patrick Stewart.
As Sir Patrick Stewart as. Yeah.
But I saw that. I was like, oh, dude, if this is real, like, okay, I'm doubly excited to see this movie.
All right.
No, it'll be a kick in the
It is going to be a kick in the pants. Holy moly. Boys, sharing is caring. Does anybody have any new TV shows, movies, books, restaurants, something that happened, shows, concerts, anything that they've been out and enjoyed?
Last weekend was a Blue Oyster Cult tribute band,
Nice.
a Black Sabbath tribute band, and what was the third one?
Damn, I wish I'd known about that.
Yeah, right?
The warning, yeah, it was okay. It was okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Was it the same band members in both?
No,
both groups?
no. And the guy in the Sabbath band did a good Ozzy. He got into the
I was going to ask you, is it more Ozzy or is it more like Dio?
It was the Ozzy years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, which was cool, and he got into character. So he was the only one that did. Yeah, which I have no beef with the Dio years at all.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he did a great job.
Nice.
I've been watching Reginald the Vampire on Sci-Fi Channel. It's been really funny. Really great show. And I just got a notification that season premiere tonight on ABC, I believe it is. Let me double check. ABC is it's a reality show called Claim to Fame. It's season 3 premiere. It's a show about celebrity siblings and or other family members. And the last couple of years have been really interesting. And some of them are like, oh, I know exactly who that person's related to.
Oh, it's the guessing show where you try to
have to figure out who their celebrity person is in their family. And the one that I was absolutely sure I knew I figured it out, I was 100% wrong. It ended up being like the grandson of Jimmy Carter. Yeah.
All right.
And, Billy Beer. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito are actually twins.
Do you remember any of the clues from that?
Oh, man. I don't, but there was like, they have like this wall of clues in the house where you can look at it and you can see the references to the various celebrities and whatnot, and then some of them are like, I think this is such and such's person, and I think this is connected to that guy, and all this other stuff. It's been interesting. It's all the stupid stuff you see in reality shows where there's a competition and then you get voted out based on how good you do on the competition, and people have the option to guess who your celebrity family member is, and if you get it wrong, then you get voted out. And one year, the person who won was like the twin of Vern. Oh God, what was that woman's name? Trans woman who was in Orange Is the New Black.
Can't think of her name. But yeah, I can picture exactly who you're talking to.
Their twin brother. And like.
Yeah, he starred on Orange Is the New Black. He was in an episode playing her before he transitioned. Or he transitioned, But no. At first, I thought he was somebody else, and then when that became a clue, I was like, oh, that's totally who that is, and they actually ended up winning it because nobody knew who the hell they were because they weren't really known for anything, and they had lots of facial hair, and they were dressed so it's hard to tell.
Yeah, when you have lots of it wasn't like a very trimmed beard. It was kind of unkempt a little bit, and they were goth dressed, so they look as far away from his sibling as possible. That you wouldn't have been able to pick him out just by looking at him. It's a good show. It's worth watching.
Only new thing that I've been watching is on Netflix is a show called Blood of Zeus. It's a kind of an anime version of some old mythological stuff between the gods of Olympus and the Titans. And there's a son called Heron, Zeus's bastard son, whatever you want to call him, but but it's been interesting. There's 2 seasons. I think there's 8 episodes per season. I think I'm just finishing up the first season, but it's well done.
What was the animated one that you brought up either last week or week before? Onimusha?
Oni, yes. And I haven't finished watching that yet either. I need to do that. But
and what was that on? That was on
Netflix as well.
Okay.
So yeah, Netflix has got some pretty exciting, cool animated stuff, which is always cool to see. So check that out on Netflix. Boys, ending on something positive, Copenhagen, the capital of Denmark, has launched a program just this month of July whereby visitors this summer can earn credits for public transportation, attraction entrances, and more by picking up litter using zero emissions transport or doing short volunteer stints. So if you show up in Copenhagen, if you do some of these nice things, then you'll get from the businesses that are sponsoring this, you might get like a free appetizer at a bar kind of a thing because you're getting credits for this. So you might get a cup of coffee or a kayak tour, free lunch, free entrance to a museum, all that kind of stuff by using public transportation instead of driving, picking up litter, or just pledging sustainable behavior. You'll get points towards this. So it's kind of a cool idea to encourage better living in a more positive city and creating a more positive environment there.
And it's nice to do, instead of fining people or whatever, to give them a positive.
That's exactly what they were saying. So instead of penalizing bad behavior, they want to invite good behavior by instilling the visitors with values and habits that make Copenhagen one of the most environmentally sustainable European capitals.
Jeez.
So it's kind of a cool idea.
Great dip.
I actually have a friend from Copenhagen who was an exchange student when I was in high school.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I bet it's a cool town.
Yeah. All right, boys, anything else? Call it good for the day. Thank you, Dr. Marvin Rosete, right?
Dr. Chef Marv.
Dr. Chef Marv for coming in and talking some restaurants with us. Don't forget, folks, if you're still on, next week we've got the Ghost Hunters, the local Renton, I can't remember the name of their organization, but we'll be posting about it throughout the week. They're coming in next week to do a little ghost hunting here, so it's going to be interesting.
That improv group I've been doing, we now are streaming on Tuesdays and Saturdays, 6 p.m. and on Twitch. So go to twitch.tv/whose turn is it anyhow.
Nice.
Check it out.
All right, and if you guys want more of us, then go to the website and sign up in the members only section, or go to Patreon, which is French for please give us a little bit of money, and you'll get bonus features like this week. We're going to do our top 5 favorite slogans, phrases, sayings, quips we've used throughout our lives. So tune in and find out what those are, and then you get to go through the whole back catalog of all of our bonus rounds.
It's hilarity.
So it's hilarity ensues. So look forward to seeing you there, and until next week, we'll see you.
Bye.
Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you think this episode is worth $1 or $5, the boys would love to have it. Please go to ourtownpod.store for merch or to donate now. For less than a cup of coffee, you can also join the website in the member-only area for exclusive bonus content, vlogs, and more. It's just $3 a month or $30 a year. Thank you for listening to this production of Our Town Podcast Extraordinaire.